Hey guys, so I'm here with RogersBase, and today we want to talk about One Piece.
Yep.
So I've seen a lot of people tweeting that, like, I'm in quarantine and I'm not going to watch One Piece. I don't care how long we're in quarantine, I'm not doing it. And we both think that you're missing out.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
it's one of the best anime manga out there. I love it. She loves it. We have every manga volume back there. Statues all over the place. Robin, Law. I mean, it's fantastic. And I think once you actually give it a chance, you'll really find you're going to enjoy it.
Because I was also really anti-One Piece in the beginning. I thought that the art was weird. And I had, like, always seen it playing on, like, 4Kids when I was little, and I was like, no, I just want to watch Naruto.
Right.
And so, but then I met this cute boy who really liked One Piece, and I was like, dang it, I gotta figure out what this show is all about. Really quick, before I get into how I kind of caught up, there is another way that you can also do it. There's a mobile game app called One Piece Treasure Cruise.
That's right. Got it right here on my iPad.
Got it on an iPad. We play it every single day.
Every day.
It's so great. I play it mostly because I like to collect all of the cute outfits of all of my girl waifus.
Right.
Which is my favorite thing.
Right.
But also they have the story mode where you can play through from the very first episode all the way up to the current arc of Wano.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get accustomed to the characters for the first time, or you just want to go through the early story arcs very quickly, there are little recaps that happen before and after each mission that'll fill you in.
And also it's a really fun game.
Yeah,
so
it
if
is.
that's also an option.
Again, neither of us are saying you should skip any story arc if you really are trying to get into One Piece for the first time. But if you want to dip your toes in it, if you're trying to get into One Piece because your friends are into One Piece, this is your best way to go about it. Again, hardcore fans, don't come at us.
Don't come at
We're
us.
not saying you should skip arcs. We have every volume. We read every chapter.
All of it. We want more people to like One Piece and be excited and be able to talk about it.
Yes, absolutely.
And we would both think that even if you use this guide and skip some episodes or watch the condensed thing, we think that once you get to the end, you're going to want to go back and watch all of it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to start and just kind of go through all the episodes and which ones you can skip, which ones are filler, and which ones are really important. So the first 5 story arcs in One Piece are basically the introduction to the main crew. So like Luffy, Nami, Zoro, Usopp,
Sanji.
Yep. Instead of watching episodes 1 through 44, you can just watch episode of East Blue.
That's right.
It is a movie. It condenses all of them. It basically tells you how Luffy meets every single person on the main crew.
Yep, introduces all their dreams, all their aspirations, everything that you need to know going into the later half of the series is all an episode of East Blue.
And you can skip 44 episodes.
That's pretty great.
Condensed into one movie. Again, it does kind of like, whenever you condense something, it does take out some of like the key emotional moments and things like that. But again, this guide is for people wanting to get in and understand One Piece.
Yep.
And so after episode of East Blue, it starts in Logue Town.
Yep.
And so Logue Town is episode 45 through 53, so you need to watch those.
Yeah, those are pretty important.
Yeah, it kind of explains like the world of One Piece and like the Grand Line and different things like that.
How Zoro gets his swords. You meet a very important character for the first time during Logue Town.
Yeah. So you gotta watch those. But then the next 2 are both filler arcs, so you can skip episodes 46 through 61. Which, again, that's
it's a lot of
filler.
Get rid of it.
Skip it. And then the next one is one of my favorite parts. It's about a whale, and you have to watch it.
Laboon. Laboon is good. It's only 2 episodes.
It's just 2 episodes, and then you get to skip things again.
Yep.
So you have to watch. Okay, I'll write down at the bottom of all of these too. So Laboon is episode 62 and 63, and then you can skip from 64 all the way to 77.
Yeah, there are some important things in there with like Whiskey Peak, but on the whole, that stuff you can just very easily pick up from like a Wikipedia article. It's fine.
So starting at 78 is Drum Island.
Yes.
But they have another movie.
So they have an episode of Chopper, but I think they also have the film too. Or is the film episode of Chopper?
But they have episode of Chopper, and I think there's also episode of there's a second one that adds in Robin.
Oh, so don't watch the movie. There's a movie where Robin and Frankie are in it already. Don't watch that.
That's not canon.
No.
Watch the one without Robin and Frankie.
Right.
That's how you meet the little reindeer Chopper.
Yep.
And you meet Vivi.
Yep.
So, but again, that's just another movie.
Yeah.
So you can watch the episode of Chopper, and then right after you watch the episode of Chopper movie, you can watch the episode of Alabasta movie.
Which is not great.
It's not wonderful.
But actually, that's how you first experienced it.
Yeah, that was the first. But, okay, so... I kind of did things a little bit wrong.
That's
so
okay.
I watched episode of East Blue, and then I watched episode of Alabasta, so I missed episode of Chopper. And so one of my favorite characters is Vivi, and I was like, who is this girl? How did she get on the crew? I am so confused.
Yeah.
Now she has a duck? What's happening?
Karoo!
Yeah. Okay, so you can watch episode of Chopper and then episode of Alabasta. Something to note, you do miss one of like the fan favorite characters. His name is Ace. You don't get episode of Alabasta takes out Ace like, completely.
Yeah, which is a little strange.
So you can either watch episode of Alabasta or you can watch episode 92 to 1. No, I have it written down.
Here's what you can do. You can literally go on YouTube and type in when Luffy meets Ace for the first time, or when the Straw Hats meet Ace.
Oh, yeah.
Ace's introduction to Alabasta. Literally any of those keywords, you'll see the scene, you're good.
And watch episode of Alabasta.
Yes.
And then you get to skip more arcs after this, because there's 3 more filler arcs. Yeah, so it's post-Alabasta, Goat Island, and Reluca Island. Skip all of those.
Yeah.
So that's basically, after you watch episode of Alabasta, you're going to start up again at episode 144. Yeah. So we are already 144 episodes in.
It's pretty good. It's only been 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's only been 4 minutes. You've only watched 2 actual episodes in 3 movies.
Yeah.
Which you can do that all in a day.
Yep.
Okay, so at 144 is the Jaya arc.
Yes.
Gotta watch Jaya.
Yeah, Jaya is very, very important. Introduced as one of the major antagonists of the series, and then sets up a lot of stuff that becomes important later on in the story.
And Jaya is 144 to 152.
Yep.
And then after that is the Skypiea arc, but they also have a movie for Skypiea.
Episode of Skypiea. You end up losing out on one of the best moments for a One Piece villain in the history of the series. But I think you'll know the moment when you get to it, and you could just Google search that fight. Once you watch episode of Skypiea and you're like, wait a minute, this seems a little chopped up.
Yeah.
Just go Google search that fight.
So then after you've watched Skypiea, so we watched episode 144 to 152, which is Jaya.
Yep.
And then you're going to watch the episode of Skypiea, and then you get to skip 3 more arcs.
Yep.
So you skip 207 all the way to 228, and that's going to bring you to Water 7.
Yep.
But again, there is another movie.
Yeah, it's episode of Mary.
Episode of Mary, which covers Water 7 and Innie's Lobby.
Yep.
So episode of Mary covers from episode 229 all the way to 312.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing that it covers so much stuff. Yeah, I have to go back and actually rewatch Mary because I don't remember what fights are cut. But again, I feel like a lot of the fights, if they do end up getting chopped up and you're like, oh, I wish there was more to this. If you just Google search that character versus that character, you'll find the fights on YouTube. Yeah. Like the full versions from the actual anime episodes.
Okay, so after episode of Mary, there is just like what?
It's like 4 or 5 episodes of post Ennie's Lobby.
325.
You should absolutely watch all of those. They have critically important information leading up to basically the big ending of the first half of the series. Absolutely do not skip the post Ennie's Lobby arc.
But then you get to skip more things. You're
That's
going to skip the filler arc Ice Hunter. You're going to skip the
Chopper Man
special episode. And all the way to Thriller Bark.
Yes.
You got to watch Thriller Bark, which I like Thriller Bark. Roger thinks that you can just...
I like Thriller Bark too.
Thriller Bark is good.
If you're a new viewer and you're trying to get into it and you see this really long Night Before Christmas type story arc, you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm really vibing with this. I would say watch like the first 5 to 10 episodes. And if you're not vibing with it, I totally understand. Skip to the last 5. But the stuff that happens in the last 5, like a huge moment for Zoro, a big moment for one of the other new Straw Hat characters. I mean, you need to watch the last 5. Minimum, you got to watch the last 5.
Which Thriller Bark is 337 to 381.
Yes.
So you can either just watch like the first few and the last few, or you can watch the whole thing. It really depends on you.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's another filler arc.
Yep.
Don't watch Spa Island. Start back up at 385, which is Sabaody Archipelago.
Watch every episode. How many episodes? Like 385 to 405?
To 405.
Sit down and watch all 20 episodes. They're great.
And then after that, it's Amazon Lily, which you also have to watch, which is 408 to 417. And then you get to Impel Down, which you have to watch.
Yeah, you should watch Impel Down. The unfortunate thing is that Impel Down is where I start to get to like where if you're a new viewer or a new reader or you're just somebody who wants to get into One Piece and you're trying to get into it and you're going, man, the anime is really dragging stuff out. That really is where the anime starts to slow down. Because I think up until this point it was doing about 2 episodes, one episode was like 2 chapters up to this point. And at one point during Impel Down, it slowed down to about like a 3/4 of a chapter per episode type thing. And then it turned into about half a chapter per episode after that. And so the pacing really started to slow down around this time.
But in the middle of Impel Down, you can skip episode 426 to 429 because that's just a filler arc.
Yes, yeah.
And then after Impel Down, it's Marineford,
Yes.
which you must
All
watch.
of it. Watch all of Marineford.
Watch all of Marineford.
You will enjoy it, I guarantee
Cry, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then it's the post-war.
Yep. And which is, again, crucial information.
So basically so Marineford starts at 457, and then that goes all the way to 489,
Yes.
and then you have to watch from 490 all the way to 560.
Yes, yeah.
So we're starting to get like a lot more episodes, but hopefully by now you're really hooked and you like it a lot.
I mean, you're halfway through the series at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so after the post-war and Marineford, there is a time skip.
Yep.
So everyone knows what a time skip is. So the time skip returns, the first arc after that is Return to Sabaody, and that's basically where Luffy meets back up with all of the members of his crew. Because there's been a time skip, and you get to see their new outfits.
Which is great.
Which is what most people, like, when most people see, like, the Straw Hat characters, they recognize their time skip outfits.
Yeah,
They're, like, the most iconic.
Yeah.
So you have to watch Return to Sabaody. Well, you don't have to watch Return to Sabaody, but it basically tells you, like...
You should.
You should. Because it tells you where all of the crew members have been and what they've been doing over the, like, what is it, 2 years?
Yeah.
2-year time skip. So it's 517 to 522.
Yeah. What you don't have to watch all of, though, is Fishman Island. Fishman Island, I think, up to this point in the anime when it was first airing, ended up becoming the longest story arc in the anime. Pacing was dragged to a halt at certain moments.
Oh, you know what?
So I would highly recommend for Fishman Island, watch the first 3 episodes, skip all of it until the last, like, 6. And there's only 2 other really important things you should note regarding Fishman Island. One, if you YouTube Fisher Tiger flashback, that will introduce you to the character of Koala, introduces you to the backstory of another future Straw Hat crew member. So that is crucial information. You should absolutely see that. And then if you just search Luffy versus Hody Jones finale, you will see mostly everything else that you need to see from Fishman Island.
Cool. So do those things, and then basically you get to skip Fishman Island.
Yes.
So that's 523 all the way to 574.
There's still a lot of
That's a lot of
episodes.
skipping.
Yeah.
We are skippers over here.
Yep.
Then you get to skip a special episode, and you get to skip the Z's Ambition special arc.
If you're not watching the film Z movie, then you don't need that.
But then there's Punk Hazard. So Punk Hazard starts at episode 579.
Yeah, and that is a really tough arc to get through in the anime because, again, it slows a lot of things down to a halt at certain points. If you just search up Law versus Virgo, just that fight from Punk Hazard, you're fine. Or Law meets Luffy.
So, yeah, watch the recap thing for Punk Hazard, and then you get to skip the special episode, which is a Dragon Ball special episode that I haven't even seen.
Not good, so that's fine.
Don't worry about it. And then you have another filler arc, which you get to skip, which is Caesar's Revival. And then, so that's episode, Caesar's Revival is 625 to 620.
Yeah, Caesar's Retrieval is terrible.
Retrieval. I don't know why I always say Revival.
It's okay. It's fine.
Whatever.
It's cute. Just keep it in. Yeah, it's fine.
And then Dress Rosa.
Okay, so here is something that this is a spoiler warning. This is a huge spoiler warning. If you are up to this point in the video and you're trying to catch up, keep in mind what we're about to talk about is a massive spoiler for something that happens during the post-war story arc. So if you're watching this and you're still trying to catch up and you made it this far, just put a timestamp on this video or something. Pause this video and then come back to us. Because what we're about to say and reveal is a massive, massive spoiler, one of the biggest in the series. It's the thing that got me into actually making content about One Piece on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, so it's a huge thing.
Oh, wait, is it about Sabo?
Right.
Oh, I was like...
I'm like, why are you drinking the...
I don't know exactly which spoiler part you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sabo!
Right.
One of my all-time favorite characters.
Mine too.
So, I love Sabo. So you get to meet Sabo and Dress Rosa. I personally didn't watch all of Dress Rosa episode for episode.
Right.
I watched the episode of Sabo and then I watched the second half of Dress Rosa.
Right.
Which is what I suggest that you do because Dress Rosa is really long and especially the second half stinks.
Anytime you hear them mention Birdcage, just skip ahead like 5 minutes.
Skip ahead. But you can watch the episode of Sabo where you get to meet one of the best characters in the entire series.
Yep.
And oh man, that's another huge spoiler too because I can't.
That's why I was saying if you made it to this point in the video, just like.
You've made it. Okay, so yeah, we're just going into spoiler territories because now, if you've watched Marineford, you know that Ace dies, and that's really sad. And then you get to learn kind of the backstory between Ace, Sabo, and Luffy.
And how they're all brothers.
And it's really sweet. And I always like kind of cry when I talk about the part with Sabo and like how the people smell, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
I love Sabo a lot. And it's kind of about There's like a whole. I'm sorry. I love Sabo.
Are you really crying?
I love Sabo.
Jesus.
It's really sweet and it's really great.
Yeah.
I love it a lot.
Yeah, so she stops crying. We're gonna move on to the next thing, which is Zoe, which is fantastic. Watch all of Zoe.
Wait.
No, all the other stuff in
The
between
second
Zoe
half
you
of
can skip.
Dressrosa, there's another fight.
Skip it.
There's a fight you gotta
The fight.
YouTube.
Well, okay, if you want to YouTube Luffy versus Doflamingo, but otherwise.
Okay, and then Zoe.
Zoe, watch all of
Yay!
Zoe. Zoe's great. It's pretty condensed in the anime too. At this point, the pacing got a little better.
Zoe's episode 751 to 779.
Yeah, so great.
You're gonna
Watch
meet
Zoe.
another great girl.
Yep.
So watch Zoe, and then you get to skip another filler arc, which is the Marine
Rookie arc, yeah.
which is 780 to 782.
Yep.
At least most of the filler arcs are short.
Yeah. G8's a good one, but we're not even gonna get into talking about filler arcs here. That you
No,
should
no.
watch. I mean, that's.
And then you start Whole Cake Island.
Yes, and actually, I am not a fan of the Whole Cake Island arc in the manga. However, I think the anime did a superb job with Whole Cake Island.
Anime has songs.
Yeah, the anime has the songs.
So if you were following Roger's advice to read everything, maybe don't read this one and
Maybe
actually
watch
watch
this one,
it.
yeah.
And so if you want to watch it, Whole Cake Island starts at episode 783. There is some filler episodes in the middle of it, so I think it's 780 to 782 and then 807. So
There you
don't
go.
watch those like 3 episodes.
Yep.
But Whole Cake Island 783
Yes.
starts with some music. You meet one of Roger's favorite characters.
Yes.
And then it ends at 877. And then you
Yes.
have the Reverie, which this is the opposite of Whole Cake Island.
Reverie was one of the best arcs in the manga. It was so good. It caught you up on so many things regarding the world of One Piece.
Right.
Introduced
you
you
meet
to a major
so many
character.
characters that you also meet so many characters that you haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
Well, like you in years,
Yeah,
us
yeah.
in episodes and minutes and hours. But read it. So just whatever. Read Reverie. Don't watch it.
Yes.
Read it.
Yeah.
I don't know what chapter it starts at. Google it.
Yeah.
I can't help you guys with everything. Then, after Reverie, it's Wano, and
Yes.
now you are basically all caught up.
And Wano, you should watch. The
Yeah.
pacing's been good. The animation is better than it's ever been. Just watch Wano. It's great.
Starts at episode 890, and it's still going on right now.
Yep.
So once you get to Wano, you are officially caught up to One Piece.
That's
and
it.
hopefully by then, if you've used this guide, you kind of want to go back and watch all of it. And we hope you like it.
Yeah,
Long Beach
absolutely.
Griffey,
You'll like it. You'll like it.
use this. This is for you. Literally, we talked about it. He was like, I don't want to watch it. And I was like, I'll make a guide
I'll make a guide for you.
This is literally for Long Beach Griffey to watch One Piece. And if he doesn't, I'm going to be mad. But yeah, okay.